KMOT is mourning the loss of one of its former employees, Vern Eckel, and his wife Pamela, who were killed in a crash yesterday afternoon on Highway 2, just west of Minot. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says Vern was riding a motorcycle west on the highway with Pamela as his passenger. Investigators say a 36-year-old Minot man tried to cross the highway from a frontage road, and Vern struck the side of his sedan. Vern served as KMOT's chief engineer in the late 1990s and also previously served as a firefighter for Burlington. Vern and Pamela were 62 and 64 years old, respectively. Arrangements are pending. Your News Leader extends its sympathies to the family and to the Burlington community. May their memories be a blessing.